Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for setting up and reconciling commission training. The phone lines have been muted to eliminate background noise, so if you have any questions or comments, please type them into the chat window of the Go to Training panel, which is located on the right-hand side of your screen. At the very bottom of that chat panel, you're going to see a drop-down that's defaulted to all entire audience. You can change that to organizer, presenter only if you would like no one else to see your questions or comments. My name is Dickinson Marin. I am a product manager here at QQSolutions and a licensed insurance agent. And today we're going to show you how to set up and reconcile commissions, both for your agency and producers in QQ Catalyst. In Catalyst, we have integrated financial functionality. So as you're doing your work, when you're issuing policies, endorsing policies, canceling, reinstating, rewriting, renewing policies, we are automatically creating your commission bills for you on those policies, so you know how much commission is due to the agency or to your producers, as well as how much unearned and earned commission is owed to and from your agency. This happens automatically while you are working, so long as you set up your commission rules. In our most recent release, QQ Catalyst 3.2, which was just released yesterday, we have developed Commission Central, which is a central location to manage both your agency and producer commission rules. Now, this is a great way for those of you who haven't set up your commissions as of yet to be able to set up commissions all in one place. But I'll also show you today how you can set up your commissions on individual carriers. So today we're going to set up our agency commissions, which we can set up based on line of business, policy type, policy term. I'm going to show you how to set up promotional commission rules, how to set up commission rules on MGAs, parent carriers, on premium tiers, whether the policy is a new business, a renewal, or a rewrite. We'll go through all that setup. And you can also do the very same thing for your producer commissions, setting up commissions based on things like the line of business, the business type, the policy term, and even the policy source in Catalyst. We're also going to show you how to reconcile your commission and premium, especially for those of you who are agencies that do commercial business, where you have net premium after you withhold your commission due to either your carrier or MGA. We'll spend a little time showing you how to do the reconciliations for those. Now again, if you have any questions on what we're going to go over today, you want to type those into the chat window of the Go to Training panel. I will be answering those questions for you either throughout the duration of today's training or at the very end. We will have time for Q&A just in case you have a question that I have not been able to answer for you. I'll be happy to answer those questions for you. Now, before we do anything, I want to let you know about the permissions that are in QQ Catalyst. Everything dealing with commissions is permission-based. So if you hover over your name and go to Preferences and go to My Preferences, or if you do a search for any one of your employee contacts, there is going to be a Permissions tab. In the Finance section, you'll see the very first one. Now, does this person have access to reconciling premium and commission for the agency? If they don't have that permission, they won't be able to do any of your reconciliations for you. Okay? So this is a person that you're going to trust to know what the agency's commission information is. Not only that, but here in the Policies tab, can this person view their own commissions? Can they view all commissions? And can they also view the agency's commissions? So if this is going to be a person that will be reconciling the agency's commissions, they will need access to view commissions as well as to edit commissions. The new permission that we just added was Commission Central. Does the person have access to go to the central location where all the agency's commission information is stored? All right, now by default, all agency administrators, whether you're a local admin or a super admin, you have this permission by default, but it has to be granted to the users in your agency if you'd like for them to see it. So now let's go over to Commission Central. And I'm going to show you how you can set up commission rules and all the neat tricks that we've developed in Commission Central. If you hover over More, you will see Commission Central here as an option. Now, again, this is all the commission rules for the entire agency. By default, we will be showing you all of your commission rules that you already have set up. If you look on the left-hand side here, you'll see the rules based on precedence, and there is precedence. If you have a policy that has an MGA on it, a parent carrier and a writing carrier. So we're talking an MGA and a group, whether it's Progressive or Travelers or Hartford, and then an individual writing carrier, if all three are on a policy, the MGA takes precedence, which is why you see the MGA at the top. We listed it as no MGA. On this specific rule, there's also no parent carrier. If there's a parent carrier and a writing carrier on the policy, the parent carrier takes precedence. That's who you'd be doing your reconciliations on. And if there's no MGA or no parent carrier, then you'll do your commission reconciliation on the writing carrier. You'll see what agency location the rule applies to, if there's any policy term associated with the rule, the line of business, and what you get paid for your new business renewal and rewrite commissions. Now on the right-hand side is a new field. It's called the effective date of the rule. When does this commission rule take effect? That way, if this carrier paid you 17.5% between the month of October and then on January 1st of 2015, you're going to get paid a higher commission percentage. You don't have to delete this rule. All you have to do is left-click on the rule and select copy. Now that I've selected copy, I'm just going to come down to the effective date and make this January 1st of 2015. So it's the exact same rule, but when I hit January, I'm going to start getting paid 19% commission. And so every policy entered between October 30th and December 31st, with that effective date, the system will automatically assign the 17.5% to those policies. But every policy written with an effective date from January 1st on is going to pick up the new commission rule. And that's how we store your rules. We store them based on their effective date. The most recent effective date is the one that's going to be at the very top. So as soon as January 1st arrives, this rule is going to expire and this rule will now take its place. By the way, with the left click, you can also edit the existing commission rules and you can remove a commission rule that no longer applies. So now, how would you be setting up a new commission rule? You're going to click on Add Commission right here. And let's talk about the different types of rules you can set up. If the carrier pays you the same commission percentage across all lines of business, across all types of policies, you're going to leave the policy type as any. That includes monoline and package policies. But if they pay you a higher percentage on monoline policies or a specific package policy, you can identify a specific line of business. So let's just say we were doing a commission rule for a monoline policy. So when I write a monoline policy, does this rule apply to just one of your office locations or to all of your office locations? Is there an MGA on this policy? So is this rule going to apply whenever a specific MGA is on it? If that's the case, let's just say All Risk paid you the same commission percentage for all lines of business and it didn't matter what writing carrier you wrote with. You would select that MGA. I'm going to select All Risk. And it doesn't matter who the parent carrier is or who the writing carrier is. It can be any carrier, any line of business, any subline. I'm going to get paid 10% commission. And when you tab over, we're going to fill in the new business renewal and rewrite fields with the 10%. You can change it if it's different. But once you click Save here, every policy you write with this MGA will automatically have commission rules populated for it. Let's say I'm dealing with a policy that doesn't have any MGAs at all, and I wanted to set this up for my parent carrier. Now, parent carriers in Catalyst are carrier contacts that have subsidiaries linked to them. So this is a parent that has children carriers. This is common for Progressive, for Travelers, for Hartford, I believe for Mercury, Nationwide. A lot of these carriers have individual writing carriers that are all part of the same group. I think Montgomery is the same as well. They just have a name for the group and then a bunch of individual writing carriers. You do not have to set up commission rules on each writing carrier that's linked to the parent. You can now set up a commission rule on the parent that governs all the children. So let's just say here I have Travelers Group. When I select Travelers Group, I can set up a specific rule when it's Travelers Group and one of the writing carriers, but if it's the same across all writing carriers, I'm just going to leave this as Travelers Group and leave this as any carrier, and I can set up a rule that governs every single one of them. So for 15%, it doesn't matter which one of the carriers that are part of the group, I'm going to get 15% as long as Travelers Group is listed on the policy. Now, what if you get paid a higher commission percentage when you write package policies? We'll switch this from monoline and make this package. You will have to tell us what type of package it is. Is it an agricultural package, a commercial package, or a personal package. So I'm going to say it's a personal package. Now, if you get paid the same percentage on all personal package policies, you'll leave this as personal package and leave the line of business as any line, and you can tell us you get paid 15% commission. However, if you get paid a higher percentage based on the lines within the package, so if it's personal auto and homeowners, you get 19%. I'm going to switch the line of business here to multi-line, and you can either scroll looking for personal auto, or you can type it in and we'll search it for you. So personal auto and homeowners. When I write a policy with Travelers Group and it's a package policy with personal auto and homeowners, I'm going to get 19% commission. And so from this moment forward, every single policy that you write with Travelers Group, that's a package policy with those lines of business, will automatically be entered in QQ Catalyst. So now here's my rule, and I'd like to set up one more because I write personal package policies with homeowners, personal auto, and flood. So I'm just going to left click on this rule and copy it. Then all I'm going to do is add flood to the copy and say when it includes all these lines of business, I get paid 21% commission. I forgot to mention what my package type is. By the way, we do have validation on these screens to help you to, just in case you don't know what information to fill in, what information is mandatory, we will let you know when you go to save the rule that you have to add it in. And this is the way it's going to be displayed here on the outside. So this is going to be for whenever the line of business is going to be homeowners and personal auto. If I have homeowners and personal auto on the same policy, I get paid 19% commission. But if it's flood and homeowners and personal auto, I get 21% commission. So let's go back to add commission and see what else we can do here. We have a new field in Catalyst called the subline. Now, you do have to have access to global preferences in order to access this section. So if you don't have permission, have your agency administrator add these in for you. A subline is a way to identify multiple types of the same line of business. So if you have personal auto, but you get paid a higher commission percentage on policies that are full coverage, you can type full coverage in here as a subline. So let me just click here to add subline, and I'm going to add in full coverage. It'd be the same like for your homeowners policies. If you write homeowners, but you get paid a higher commission percentage if you write an HO3 as opposed to an HO4 or an HO6, you can add HO3, HO4, and HO6 in here as sublines, and then you can set up commission rules on these sublines. All right, so let me go ahead and add HO3. I'll add HO4. Let's add HO6 as well. All right, so now let me go back to Commission Central. You'll see the sublines that I added. Hold on one second. Looks like it hasn't picked up the information yet. Just do a quick refresh. Okay. All the sublines that I added in Global Preferences are now in my dropdown. So I can say when I write a homeowner's policy, by default, we're going to have any subline here, but you can specify if it's an HO3 policy, I get paid a higher percentage. Then you can create another rule or copy this rule and switch the subline from HO3 to HO6 and tell us how much you get paid when you write condo policies. So now, we can also set up commissions on premium tiers. Now this is on the total policy premium. So let's just say a carrier tells you if the premium falls between 0 and up to 10,000, we'll give you a certain percentage. But if you write policy premiums of 10,000 and above, we'll give you a higher percentage. I'm going to switch the premium tiers to 2 because it's going to be 2 different tiers from 0 to up to 10,000 and then anything 10,000 and above. So I'm going to put here that I get paid 13% commission on anything 0 to up to 10,000. And then anything 10,000 and above, I get paid 15% commission. And those are your 2 premium tiers. You do have the ability to have up to 5 premium tiers. Now, the effective date field here, we're talking about the effective date of the rule. So when the rule is entered, every policy with an effective date of this date going forward will have this rule apply to it. So you can put in an effective date that's prior to today's date if you need to, just in case you forgot to set up commission rules on when you first signed up for QQ Catalyst. You can always put in the effective date of this commission rule when the carrier originally gave you your commission statements. You'll also be able to now set up promotional commission rules. Let's just say, now this is one of the things that I loved about being an insurance agent in the agency. Around Christmas time, the carriers would become very generous. I don't know if it's because they realized that people were going to be away from the office or not, but they would have these promotions between December 1st and December 31st. For every policy we wrote, new business policy, we got an extra 5% commission points. So they would send us that promotion. What you can do here is click on promotional and tell us between December 1st of 2014 through December 31st, my commission is going to be, instead of 13%, it's going to be 15% if I hit this premium tier, and it's going to be 19% if I hit this premium tier. But it's only for policies with an effective date of December 1st through December 31st. And as soon as it turns January 1st, this rule will no longer apply. So you can have commission rules that get started on a promotional date and end on a promotional date. And that's how you're going to be setting up the commissions for your agency, whether it's for your MGA, your carriers, or your parent carriers. This is how you're going to be able to set up your new commission rules. So now, what about your producers? We do have a producers tab here. And you're going to see the layout very similar to the agency, where you can see which location the rule applies to, the line of business, the employee, and what commission percentage they get paid, and when the rule is effective. Let's go ahead and start from scratch with an employee. I'm going to click on Add Commission here. Same thing. Now, if you're going to pay your producer one commission percentage across all lines of business they write, you no longer have to set up the two different commission rules of no MGA and any MGA. Any MGA now in Catalyst encompasses policies that don't have an MGA unless you specifically specify two different rules, one with any and one with none. The only reason you'll have to do that is if you're the type of agency that pays a higher commission percentage on on admitted business as opposed to non-standard business. Okay? So if you pay your producer the same commission percentage regardless of whether it's admitted or whether it's excess and surplus lines, you don't have to set up two rules, just set up the one. So now, here we are with any location, and this policy is for any MGA, any parent carrier, any writing carrier, any carrier themselves, any line of business, any subline, any policy term, and it's going to be effective today, or again, you can retroactively put in a different date. Policy source is the new field that we've added here for your agencies. Now, this is very important for those of you who pay your producers a higher commission percentage if they generate the business themselves, as opposed to the customer calling because of one of your advertisements. Okay? So I'm going to hover over my name here, Preferences, and go to Location Preferences. And it's going to be in the Policy tab. And here it is, Policy Sources. I'm going to add another policy source. I'm going to call this Producer Generated. So all the other policy sources are going to be house accounts. Okay, this was generated because of my agencies, either word of mouth from other customers. But the one that says producer source, that one's going to be the one where the producer did work. They did cold calling. They went out in the field and they generated this lead all by themselves. So I'm going to click to add a commission here, and I'm going to leave everything as any. So I'm paying this producer the same commission percentage across all lines, and I'm going to choose here. Individual's already selected. Let me find my name. Now, is this producer getting a percentage of the agency's commission or the premium plus the fees? It's going to be just the agency's commission, and I hope I don't have a rule already set up, but if I do, the system's going to tell me. Okay, so there's the commission rule I just created for Dickinson. I'm getting paid 50% of the agency's commission. Now, if I wanted to set up a separate rule that says, if I'm the one that got the lead, I get paid a higher percentage, all I'm going to do is left-click on this and select Copy. And I'm going to go down to policy source, and I'm going to look for the one that I created called producer. So whenever it's a policy that was generated by me, I'm going to get 75% of the commission. And again, the rules at the most recent effective dates are going to be the ones that are at the very top. What about policies that have more than one producer on them? I'm going to click to add a commission here. And instead of having individual listed as producer type, I'm going to select group individual. This means you have more than one producer on the policy, but each of them get their own percentage of the agency's commission. So let's just say the policy premium is $10,000. The agency gets 10%, so the agency gets $1,000. When we set this up as group individual commission, let me go ahead and add myself. Let me add Elizabeth Rodriguez. And I say that these producers are going to get, let's say I get 40% of the agency's commission, and Liz is going to get 50% of the agency's commission. So I'm going to get 40% of the $1,000, and Elizabeth is going to get 50% of the $1,000. That's how group individual commission is going to work. Now, these columns cannot exceed 100%. So she can't get 70% and I get 40%. It has to be up to $100. It can be less than it. I mean, up to 100%. It can be less than it, but it can't be more. So that's group individual commission. What if you wanted to set up a split commission? Instead of saying group individual, I'm going to select group split. Now, this means we're going to share a percentage of the agency's commission. So same scenario, policy premium $10,000, agency's commission is $1,000. What percentage are Elizabeth and I going to share? We're going to share 50%. Of this 50%, how much are we splitting? So this is $500 is going to be shared by Elizabeth and I, and let's just say Elizabeth is going to get, I'm going to get 35% and she's going to get 65%. So we can handle the groups where it's individual commissions, and we can handle the groups where it's going to be split commissions. And this is how it's going to show up on your rule. You'll see group split commission. They're sharing 50% of the agency's commission, and they're sharing it 65-35. Now, for those of you who want to set up commission rules for your CSRs, not based on a percentage of the agency, but just a flat dollar amount, don't forget that you can change this from percentage to a flat dollar amount to say specifically it's going to be $75. And if you only pay them for new business and not renewal and rewrite, you can easily just take these out. And that's how you're going to be setting up your commission rules for your producers. Now, if you're going to be coming to Commission Central and not going to the contacts directly, sometimes you may be looking for a commission rule just to see if you have it set up. You can use this filter to go through all of your rules and say specifically, show me rules where the writing carrier on the commission rule I set up is Travelers Insurance Company. When you click OK, we'll filter through all the rules and see if you have any rules set up. And I don't have any set up. That will prompt you to add a commission rule. And you can just click Clear Filter so you can see all your rules again. So you can filter by the MGA, by the parent carrier, the writing carrier, the line of business. You can even filter by producer. If you have any questions on what we've talked about so far, please go ahead and type them into the chat window of the Go to Training panel. I'll be happy to answer those questions for you during today's training. Now, what if you downloaded a bunch of policies or you entered policies manually and then you went and set up your commission rules? You can now retroactively apply commissions to policies by coming up to this reset button. When you select reset, you can filter which carrier, MGA or parent carrier, you'd like to find policies for. So I'm going to say here, let me look for policies where all risk insurance brokers is the MGA, and there are no commission rules on active policies. So we're not doing a search for policies that aren't active. This is only active policies that don't have a commission rule applied to them. And we're going to go all of 2014 so far. We're going to search your database for any active policy that doesn't have a commission rule. And in this case, I don't have any. All my policies for all risk have commission rules on them. Now, let's just say I'm not looking for all risks, but I'm looking specifically for Travelers Insurance Company. I have none. So as you can see, I've done a really good job of setting up my commission rules. When you do search, the policies that show up here are going to be the ones that don't have a commission rule applied. Hopefully, you've set up a commission rule. Because even if you click OK here, if a rule wasn't set up for that type of policy, the system will not apply a rule to it. So you want to make sure that if you see the same name in here, every time you come to reset, you haven't set up a commission rule for that type of policy. We've also given you the ability to reconcile commissions. You can launch into the reconciliation directly on this screen by clicking on Reconcile. Inside this pop-up are all the carriers, MGAs, and employees or producers that have outstanding bills with the agency, outstanding commission bills. So here, you can leave this as any, and we're grouping all of your carriers, the MGAs, the parents, and the producers all in this drop-down. Again, these all have outstanding commission bills. Or I can specify, show me only my carriers, and we'll show you the list of only your carriers. So let me go ahead and select one of my carriers. Let's go to my parent carrier instead. Let's go to Travelers Group. We're going to launch you into the reconciliation, and it looks like I don't have any bills for that carrier, so let me go and find one that I think I have bills for here. Now don't forget that whenever we're tracking commission bills, we're looking for all policies with outstanding balances, so it doesn't matter if it's going to be a policy from last year or the year before. We're tracking all of your outstanding bills. So if it's showing up in the reconciliation, somewhere on the policy, that policy is listed as you having a commission bill outstanding. Here's how the reconciliation is going to look. These are all the policies, whether by endorsement, cancellation, reinstatement, or new business, or rewrite, it's showing that a commission is due to the agency. What you're going to do is look on your commission statement. Is this policy on it? If it is, and the amount that it's showing is due is the amount that you're being paid, all you have to do is check it off. If all of them are on your statement and all the numbers are correct, you'll check off this select all button and we'll default whatever's due to what's being paid. Now, what if the amount that you're looking at right here on this screen is not the same as what's on your commission statement? So you either put in a higher percentage or you put in a lower percentage. What you can do now is click on the due amount, and we're going to open up the agency commission tab for that policy, and you can click edit and make the adjustment. So you no longer have to stack where you are, go to the policy, and come back to your reconciliation. You can now do this while you're in your reconciliation workflow, and we've already adjusted how much is due to the agency. So let's check off a couple of these here, and click next to continue. Now, for those of you who are wondering, I did get a couple of questions. Dickinson, right here, what is this ad for? If you get a commission statement and they're paying you commission in two separate line items for the policy premium and an endorsement, all you have to do to represent that for the $200.25 is click on add, let us know that one is for $100.25 and the other is for $100. The total for this policy on the statement is $200.25, but it's broken down by the policy and then the endorsement. So let's click next to continue. Now, we've also added another field for you. Some of you get non-policy adjustments to your commission statement. So the carrier said, hey, if you write 50 policies this month, we'll give you a $500 bonus. That's what this field is for now, $500. So my commission statement total is really $1,276.50. Or if you get your customers calling through the service center and every single time they call, the carrier is going to dock your commission by $1 or $5, you could put in the negative amount that's affecting your commission. So I'm going to say here that I'm being docked $500 instead of being given $500. So you can put in the minus, or you can just put in the amount, let us know how you're getting paid and which location is receiving the payment, and then click finish. Now, when we generate the reconciliation report, we're going to show you how much commission you got for the statement in full, how much you've got for policy commissions, and any non-policy commission adjustments. This reconciliation report, by the way, is automatically attached to the carrier file, so you can go back to the Files tab just in case you need to see any reconciliation. If you have any questions on what I just showed you, feel free to go ahead and type that into the chat window of the Go to Training panel, and I'll be sure to answer your questions before the end of today's training. Now, how is this going to look on a policy? So I set something up with all risk. Let me go ahead and find one of my customers, and let's add a policy to the customer so I can show you how this is going to work. So let's add a policy. Let's make this a commercial articles policy, effective today. So the named insured is automatically populated for me. Here's a subline field, just in case there is a subline in business. I can add this in, but I don't have a subline on this one. Make sure, for those of you that are getting paid commission on policies, your names have to be listed in this producer field. If it's not here, you're not getting commission. Okay? Agent and CSR are more for reporting purposes. That's the only reason we have these fields here, so you can see how many customers each agent is assigned to, or how many policies each CSR is responsible for. But if the name's not in here, we're not tracking commissions for them. Now, quote management, I hope you guys have been using these fields as well, because we have some really nice reports on producer close ratio and the carrier close ratio. So you can see how often you're closing deals with carriers that are giving you quotes, or how often you're actually getting a quote when you submit an application. Really good stuff for you to use here. So in this case, I'm going to select, let's say, all around insurance company, and say I'm writing this policy with, looks like that's not tied to all risk. Let me look for one that may be tied to all risk. Hopefully Lloyd's of London. Let's see. All right, there it is, all risk insurance brokers. And let's say the quoted premium, the base premium was $1,500, and they had some carrier fees. So there's my quote. You can add in any agency fees, any location schedules. Like in this case, I'm just going to click Finish. And then you have to issue the policy in Catalyst, because this is a pending policy that has a quote. It's not an actual active policy yet. I'm going to hover over Policy Action and select Issue Policy. Now, if your agency is going to be getting your commission at a later date, you're definitely going to be leaving, when you select here, I'm going to say it's paid in full. Let us know if it's agency bill or direct bill. By direct bill, we mean you're not responsible for collecting any premium. Aside from, let's just say the customer gives you the down payment check, you're not responsible for collecting any premium. So that'd be your direct bill policies. Agency bill, you're the one responsible for collecting the premium, and the majority of the time, that agency bill policy is going to be net, which means you withhold your commission up front. Okay? So let's go by this example, because for the direct bill people, I just showed you how to do reconciliations. I just want to show the agency bill people how this is going to work. So this is an agency bill, net policy. I'm being paid in full. There's my quote already selected. Let's just click OK to continue. Now, in the issue policy workflow, we wanted to let you know whether or not you've set up a commission rule for this policy. So, because I said it's paid in full, there's the premium down, it's the full down payment, 13% automatically populating. If this says 0, you have not set up a commission rule for that carrier, because we do this check the second that you select issue policy. Okay? I don't have any percentage of commissions on carrier fees. If you do, you can put that in here, but the majority of you don't get commissions on carrier fees. Then we're going to show you your producer commissions. Here's the rule I had set up for myself and Elizabeth when we write a policy together. We're going to be sharing 50% commission, 35-65. And I'm not charging any agency fees, so my producer's not getting commissions on agency fees, and click Finish to continue. Now, For your direct bill policies, by default, we're going to show commission outstanding for your agency, so you have to reconcile. For your agency bill policies, we will reconcile it for you automatically, but you have to receive the payment from the customer. So it's not enough to just issue the policy, you have to take a payment. And hopefully, you guys are taking payments on these agency bill policies, withholding your commission, and then sending the net amount to the carrier. So here's the bill already for me. Just click next to continue. And let's just say the customer gave me a check. Now, what we're doing right now when you're seeing the spinning, Catalyst is generating the receipt for you. It's also creating the commission bill saying it was due to the agency and the agency is going to withhold it up front. And then we're creating a carrier payable, an amount that's due to either the carrier or the MGA less your commission. Okay, so all of that is happening when you see that spinning there. Here's the receipt you can generate to your customer. We automatically attach it to their file, so just in case you forgot to generate it, you can always go back and print it later. And now I'm going to take you to the policy so you can see what the agency commission tab, the producer commission tab, and what the billing tab is going to look like. Here's the agency commission tab. Okay, I was owed 13% commission, $195, and I'm not getting any commissions on the carrier fees. If this is wrong, you can change this on a policy-by-policy basis. But for your agency bill policies, once a payment is taken, you cannot adjust this entry. You will have to void the payment and then correct this. Because remember, we're doing the reconciliations automatically for you. Okay? So you definitely want to check on your commission percentages before you issue on your agency bill policies. Your direct bill policies, you can automatically change these. These fields are going to be open for you. The producer tab. Okay? Here are the amounts of commission we're getting paid. Here's the percentage of the agency's commission we're sharing. It comes out to $97.50. Now, in some instances, you're going to see this here, where you see $97.50 as the total up here, but it comes out to $97.51 because we're rounding up in the case that anything ends in a 34, 135, or 136, or 137. So you may see a penny difference. Now, if you're on a policy that only has one producer, you're not going to see the option for group split and group individual. The same way, if you have multiple producers on the policy, you're not going to see individual here. It's just going to be group individual and group split. So let's go to the billing tab. Let's take a look at how the billing entries are created. We billed the customer for $1623.65. We took a payment for $1623.65. Here's where I can view the receipt. I can always reprint the invoice or void the payment if it's incorrect. Let's switch the account from customer to carrier commission. Now, $195 is listed as what was due, and $195 has been paid because we're withholding that amount from the down payment. I wanted to show you something else. This is now a clickable link. In the case that you need to reconcile commissions for a carrier, you can click on this and we'll take you to the reconciliation. So you don't have to search for the carrier and reconcile or go to Commission Central and reconcile. You can do it directly from the policy now. Now let's go to the carrier premium account. This is the amount less our commission, so it's the $1623.65 less our commission, which is $1428.65, and now we need to reconcile that we're sending this net premium to the carrier. So all I have to do is click here on all risk insurance brokers. We'll take you to the reconciliation. I actually have two checks that I need to write, or one check for two policies. I'll select both of those here. And there's no non-policy adjustments that need to be made. I'm going to pay them by check. Agency check number 150. And I've just reconciled my premium to the carrier. So that's how you're going to be setting up your commissions in Catalyst for your agency, your producers, in Commission Central. That's how you're going to be reconciling your commission and your premium. There's only one last thing I want to show you guys today. I do want to show you how you can set up the commissions on the individual contacts themselves. So you don't have to go to Commission Central. If you are creating a new carrier, if you put in a new carrier in Catalyst, let me just go to one of these companies here. Whether it's a carrier or an MGA, you're going to see the Commission tab. And it looks just like Commission Central does. All you have to do is click on Add Commission, and you'll be able to add the commission for this carrier contact, MGA contact, and employee contact. So everything that you can do in Commission Central, you can do on the contacts themselves. Now, for those of you who are doing reporting for the agency, we've included several standard reports for you regarding your commission. And I'm hoping that you guys are using these. And as you use them, please provide some feedback on them. We have an outstanding commission report for the agency. I'm going to left click and just run a couple of these so I can show you what it's going to be able to show you. We have the billed contact as an optional field. This is the person that we're showing the commission is outstanding from or to. Outstanding commissions. I'm not going to filter it, just click run. Now, you're not going to be able to run this report based on a date range because it really doesn't matter on the date range. It's you are either owed commission on these policies or you owe commission on these policies. Maybe it's unearned commission. We're going to show you all outstanding balances for all your billed contacts. You'll see them right up here. So this will be your MGA name or your carrier name, and we'll show you specifically which policy the commission is owed on. That way, if it's incorrect, you can always go to the policy and correct it. So that's for the agency. Any outstanding commissions due to the agency or from the agency. Then we have outstanding commissions for the producer. Again, you can do this for a specific producer or you can run it for all. We'll show you the policies that your agency owes these producers commissions on, or if there are any unearned commissions that the producer owes you. And we'll show you the total at the bottom. You'll, by the way, also have the how much they're owed in total, how much they've been paid so far, and the balance. So at the end of every month, this is a report you can generate for each one of your producers and hand it to them. Another one that we generated for you is net commission, for those of you who'd like to know. All right, so I've received $20,000 in commission payments this month from the insurance company, but how much am I really getting paid? Because there's a cost of doing business. I have to pay my producers a certain percentage. We'll show you your net commission after paying your producers. So we'll show you the person that's paying your commission, how much commission the agency's gotten, and how much you've paid your producers. Now, hopefully this isn't the actual number. Hopefully these are flipped, that you're getting $55.11 and you're paying the producers $6.50. And at the very bottom, you're going to see how much you've paid your producers, how much you've gotten paid in full, how much you paid your producers, and the net agency's commission. And we're doing this based on the date that the payment was received. So we're talking about commission payments that have been received by the agency or paid. Another one is the production report for the agency. I'm just going to select run here. And we can do this by a specific contact, a billed contact, or if you only care for your new business policies. Let's just say I want to see all my new business policies, how much premium and commission I've generated so far this year for new business. We're going to break this down by the person paying you the commission, so your billed contact. So here's the billed contact. I have this much premium with this carrier, how much of my premium volume they account for, my commissionable premium, how much of that they account for, my total agency commission volume, or for them, how much commission volume they account for, and the percentage of my agency's commission volume. So you can really see which carrier you get the majority of your business with and the majority of your commissions with. And the policy counts as well. And another one that I think that you guys are going to really like is the producer payment report. So if your producer wants to know, or if you'd like to know, how much have you paid your producers so far this year? And you can select a specific producer. You'll select run. And we'll show you how much commissions, and again, this is reliant on you reconciling commissions in the management system. We'll show you how many policies these producers have gotten paid for so far, which policies they've gotten paid for, and in which amounts. It looks like I'm having a really good year. Huh. Look at that. I'm having a really good year. So there's going to be a summary at the bottom for each of the producers and a total at the very bottom so you know how much commission payments you've made so far to all producers. So run some of these new standard reports that we've given you guys and give us some feedback on how you think they've been. We've also included one for cancellations and non-renewed policies, policies that have not been renewed or rewritten, policies that have been canceled and have not been renewed or rewritten. So this is true lost business. You wrote the policy and it canceled, no one rewrote it, no one renewed it, and the policy wasn't reinstated. It was actually lost. We show you how much commission you've lost because of those cancellations. So run some of these standard reports and feel free to write in the feedback and let us know what you guys think of them. Now I'll be happy to answer any questions that you guys have on what we've talked about. For those of you who don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and put up the contact information one last time, just in case you have any questions or you run into any trouble. Feel free to contact our product support team at 877-809-2509, or you can send an email to training@QQSolutions.com. Don't forget that we do have additional training classes, and they're ongoing, they're free, there's no charge. You can feel free to register for training at any other date and time. Now, I'll be happy to go through the questions that I see here in the chat window. If you ask the question, hang on, and I will go ahead and answer those questions for you. All right, got a recommendation. I'll be happy to put that into our feedback section so we can have that as a future enhancement in a future release. All right, how would we reconcile a statement where the carrier misapplied the premium payment? Now, however it is the carrier made the payment, I always recommend to agents, reconcile your commissions to reflect their statement. Okay? You will do the reconciliation to reflect their statement. When they send you the correction, you'll also reconcile with your correction. Some of you, you don't want to do that, and I can understand the reason why, just in case they made a mistake and forgot something. But the commission statement, unless they're going to send you an amended version of the statement, a lot of the carriers send you the adjustment on the following month statement. It's up to you, but we usually recommend that you just reconcile it the way they sent it to you, and then when they send you the corrected one, then you reconcile it again to reflect what they made the change on. Unless they send you an email saying, hey, listen, sorry, we made a mistake. Here's the updated one immediately. Then you don't have to reconcile it incorrectly. Got another question. What about agency bill and finance premium? How is that reconciled? I'll be happy to show that to you. All right, let me just get Catalyst back open here. I'm going to go back to that same contact. Let me show my screen. Let's go back to that same contact and add a policy. Let's say it's a commercial fire. And make it today's effective date. All right, I'm just going to speed through the workflow here. Let me just get my name here as a producer. Let's add another producer on there. Now, don't forget, for those of you who don't like to use the quote info tab, it's okay. When you go to issue the policy, you're going to give us the information for the quote anyway, and we're going to build the quote for you. So just in case you forget, we'll go ahead and build the quote for you. Here's the information that we need for the quote. So I'm going to say here, let's go with the same example. I'm going to go with Lloyd's of London, and the policy is going to be written with all risk. Right here in financing, you're going to select third-party finance. Let us know who the finance company is. By default, we're going to load the down payment premium finance option that's on the finance company. You can change this on a policy-by-policy basis. For the majority of you, it's going to be agency bill, where the finance company is going to send you a draft. Then you're going to send your check, which is going to be the down payment the customer sent you, less your commission, plus the draft to the finance company. The second option that most agencies have is where the finance company sends you the draft, you deposit the draft into your agency account, and you write one check to the insurance company or the MGA. It's usually one of these two, but you can read through all the options and select the one that applies to the policy you're writing. So I'm going to go ahead and click Next. And let's say the base premium is going to be $10,000. I'm not going to add any carrier fees for this example. No agency fees. And I'm going to collect a down payment of, let's say, $3,000. Because on the finance company, I put in that I need to collect 30%. That's why you see this $3,000 here. There's my agency commission. Let's make this 10%, nice round number, so we can see how the example is going to work out here. No carrier fee commissions. My producer's commissions are there. And let's just click finish. Now, in order for the reconciliation to work, again, this is an agency bill policy, you have to record the payment you took from the customer. So let's take a payment. There's a $3,000 bill. She's paying me $3,000. Let's make this a check. Now, because this is an agency bill net policy, we're automatically reconciling the commission that was received. So it's going to show commission due, commission received, automatically done for you. We're going to automatically create a bill from the finance company to the agency for the remainder of the premium. So if you come down to the billing tab, there's the $3,000 billed to the customer, received from the customer. Carrier commission, $1,000 due from all risk, $1,000 already received. We're withholding it up front. Carrier premium, we owe, after receiving our $1,000, we owe all risk a check for $9,000 for the down payment, for the total policy premium less our commission. And then if you go to finance companies, you're going to see a draft outstanding from the finance company for the total premium less the down payment. So we're waiting on a draft from the finance company for $7,000. Now, before you do the reconciliation to the MGA or the carrier, you reconcile the finance company first. Okay? So there's the outstanding balance to the finance company, or from the finance company. I'm just going to select Surplus Lines Finance Company. We're going to launch you into the reconciliation. This is them sending us premium. So reconcile Surplus Lines paying agency premiums. There's the $7,000 check. I'm going to say they sent me a draft for all three of these policies. So I got a $35,000 draft. No non-policy adjustments, and just click finish. And so now that I've reconciled the finance company, I got the draft, the last step is for me to reconcile the MGA or the carrier, showing me sending them the premium. Okay. That's how easy it's going to be to reconcile these policies that deal with third-party finance companies. I got a question that says, what if the agency issues the finance company draft? If the agency issues the finance company draft to the carrier and the agency pays the balance less the commission. I'm guessing you mean if the finance company pays if the finance company is going to be paying them directly. I'm not sure if you get the drafts. You have drafts already from the finance company and you're writing them out. If that's what you're doing, it's the very same as the example I just showed you. If you're writing the draft, it's still the finance company giving you a draft to send to the carrier. So you're going to reconcile it the exact same way. Now, if the finance company is sending the draft directly to the MGA, there's an option for that as well on the policy. So you just have to select the correct finance option. And just in case you have a scenario that's not covered here, please share that in the feedback with us so we can add these additional options for you. Again, I thank you all very much for joining us for today's training class. I'll stick by for another couple of minutes to answer any additional questions, but for those of you without any additional questions, I thank you very much for being a loyal QQ subscriber. Again, please let us know what you think about Commission Central, the new feature that we built, about setting up your commission rules, as well as the new commission reports that we've built. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for attending today, and have a great afternoon.